Throughout history, one of the most compelling and mysterious questions to haunt historians and scholars of spirituality alike has been whether the Knights Templar uncovered evidence that could dramatically alter the story of Jesus Christ. In the shadows of the Middle Ages, a powerful and enigmatic religious military order rose to prominence, amassing an extraordinary fortune and gaining the trust of kings, popes, and rulers across Europe. But what made the Templars so special? What was the hidden secret they possessed? A secret that granted them such unprecedented power and influence? Some rumors suggest that the answer lies deep within the ruins of Solomon's Temple in Jerusalem. Whispers speak of an earth-shattering discovery, something so profound it had the potential to rewrite the very foundation of Christianity. But what exactly did they uncover? Was it an ancient manuscript, the elusive Holy Grail, or perhaps undeniable proof that the narrative of Jesus had been manipulated over the centuries? To explore this possibility, we must first turn back to the year 1119, when a small band of knights, led by Hugh de Payens, made a sacred vow and formed an order designed to safeguard Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. Yet, there is something peculiar about the early years of this order that has long intrigued researchers and historians. Unlike other military orders of the time, the Templars were not solely focused on waging war. They had privileged access to the ancient ruins of the Temple of Solomon, a site of immense religious and historical significance. For nearly a decade, they meticulously excavated the temple's ruins, seeking something hidden beneath the rubble. What could they have been searching for? And more importantly, why were they the only ones granted such access? Historical accounts suggest that by the time the Templars left Jerusalem, they were no longer just warriors, they were keepers of a profound secret. One so powerful it bestowed upon them privileges and influence beyond imagination. Many theories propose that what the Templars discovered during their excavation may have been ancient texts, lost gospels or apocryphal documents, that revealed a completely different version of Christ's life and teachings. These texts, banned by the early church and suppressed for centuries, could have unveiled truths that contradicted the orthodox Christian doctrine. Did the Templars find these forbidden writings and come to realize that the story of Jesus, as it had been passed down, was incomplete, or perhaps distorted? The mere idea that such texts existed, hidden away from the public eye, has been enough to send shivers down the spines of theologians and scholars ever since. But the influence of the Templars didn't rest solely on their mystical knowledge. After their meteoric rise to power, they began to govern vast territories, establish a groundbreaking banking system, and accumulate wealth and authority that even the kings of Europe could not ignore. How did this religious military order, whose original mission was to protect pilgrims, acquire such unprecedented influence? Some researchers suggest that the Templars held compromising information about the Church, information so damaging that it allowed them to operate with near impunity. Practically untouchable. Rumors have long circulated that the Templars had discovered something so significant that the Vatican could never allow it to become public. But if such a discovery had been made, where did this knowledge go? The relationship between the Templars and the Catholic Church began on favorable terms. But as time passed, it became strained. The Vatican realized the Templars were growing far too powerful, and that they held knowledge capable of threatening the very structure of Christianity itself. This tension reached a breaking point in 1307, when King Philip IV of France, with the backing of Pope Clement V, launched a brutal and sudden attack on the order. The infamous Friday the 13th marked the beginning of the Templars' downfall. Many were arrested, tortured, and accused of heresy. But why was the attack so severe and so sudden? Some theories suggest that the true aim of this purge was not simply to destroy the Templars as a military order, but to eradicate any trace of the secret knowledge they had uncovered. During the trials, many members of the order were forced to make confessions, disturbing admissions of secret rituals, esoteric symbols, and hidden truths. Among the most controversial of these theories is the suggestion that the Templars had evidence to suggest that Jesus Christ was not the figure the Church had portrayed for centuries. Some accounts even claim that the Templars had discovered documents that proved Jesus may have had direct descendants, creating a secret lineage that the order was bound to protect at all costs. This theory, later popularized by books and films, is supported by fragments of ancient texts and historical connections that hint at something much larger than a mere conspiracy. Another aspect of the mystery surrounding the Templars involves the sacred relics they were believed to possess. Accounts suggest that the order transported holy objects, including potentially the Holy Grail itself, to hidden locations, places out of reach of both the Church and European monarchies. Some versions of the Grail myth argue that it was not a literal chalice, but rather a symbol of profound and forbidden knowledge, a truth about Christ's lineage that, if revealed, could shatter the foundations of Christianity as it was known. Over the centuries, the legend of the Templars has only grown, fueled by the belief that they not only discovered these secrets but hid them away to protect the truth. The idea that the Templars may have been guarding not just mystical philosophies but concrete, historical evidence about the true nature of Jesus continues to captivate imaginations around the world. Furthermore, there are theories that the Templars' legacy lived on through secret societies like the Freemasons, whose symbols and rituals may have been influenced by Templar teachings. This would mean that even after the order's official dissolution, their knowledge and secrets were passed on in silence, veiled within hidden symbols and cryptic rituals. The question that persists, however, is what exactly were the Templars preserving? Was it merely a collection of mystical ideas? Or was it a documented account of a forgotten history, one that could forever change our understanding of the origins of Christianity? The legend of the Templars continues to intrigue and mystify, not only for their extraordinary power and influence but for the possibility that they uncovered something that could forever alter our perception of history. Beneath the ruins of Solomon's temple, what could they have found? Could they have discovered manuscripts that revealed the untold story of Christianity's early years? And if such a truth existed, has it been deliberately erased from history, leaving only fragments scattered among secret societies and hidden documents? What we do know for certain is that the Templars' legacy, whether bound in forgotten texts or passed down through cryptic traditions, remains one of the most captivating mysteries of our time. The brutal persecution of the Knights Templar extended far beyond mere political or financial motives. There was something much more significant at stake. The fear that the Church and the monarchy had regarding what the Templars might expose hints at the unsettling truth being closer than anyone could have anticipated. If, indeed, the Templars uncovered proof of the true story of Jesus Christ, a question emerges that has captivated many for centuries. Where is this knowledge now? This inquiry naturally leads us to the next chapter of this enigma, the Holy Grail and the forbidden secrets. What did the Templars truly understand about this legendary relic? And what if the Grail wasn't an object at all, but instead a profound revelation that could shatter everything we thought we knew? For centuries, the Holy Grail has been one of the greatest mysteries in history, inspiring everything from epic legends to rigorous academic inquiry. Yet, what was this elusive artifact? Was it a sacred chalice used by Jesus at the Last Supper? A relic imbued with mystical powers? Or could it be something far more profound and dangerous than anyone could imagine? Many believe that the Knights Templar not only discovered the Grail, but that they also unearthed its true nature, something far beyond a simple religious object. For some, the Grail was not an artifact at all but a hidden knowledge, an explosive secret that, if revealed, could rock the very foundations of Christianity and human history itself. The quest for the Holy Grail has long been associated with the Templars, who, during their time, had exclusive access to sacred sites in Jerusalem. In addition to their vast store of secret knowledge, some theories suggest that the Templars uncovered ancient records, documents that not only distorted but outright challenged the traditional narrative of Jesus Christ. These texts could have contained vital information about his true identity, his original teachings, and possibly even proof that Jesus had descendants. To scholars and researchers who delve into this theory, the Holy Grail represents something much more than a chalice. It symbolizes the royal bloodline of Christ. This theory gained widespread attention through books like the Da Vinci Code. But the idea that Jesus might have had heirs has roots in much older texts. The Gnostic Gospels, for instance, refer to a close, often misunderstood relationship between Jesus and Mary Magdalene, describing her as not just a devoted follower, but his closest companion, and some suggest, his wife and the bearer of his lineage. If the Templars uncovered these revelations, they would have sworn to protect this bloodline at all costs. creating a secret network to shield the truth from the world. But why, then, do so many legends depict the Grail as a physical chalice? The answer may lie in symbolism. In many esoteric traditions, the chalice represents the sacred womb, the source of life itself. If the Templars discovered that Jesus had descendants, the Grail might not have been a physical object at all. Instead, it could represent the bloodline, the genetic legacy of Christ that, over the centuries, survived in secrecy. If this theory holds, the revelation of such a secret would have had catastrophic consequences for the Church. It would directly challenge the long-standing doctrine that Jesus was a solitary divine figure, without earthly heirs, and it would profoundly alter the understanding of Christianity, beyond the concept of a hidden bloodline. Another fascinating theory suggests that the Templars unearthed documents that debunked the official story of Jesus Christ and his mission on earth. These forbidden writings, believed to have been buried for centuries, could reveal teachings that stood in stark contrast to the doctrines espoused by the Church. Among the apocryphal texts found among the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Nag Hammadi Library, there are accounts of Jesus that portray him not as the divine savior, but as an enlightened master, someone who taught the power of self-knowledge and a direct connection to God, independent of the need for an organized religious institution. If such teachings existed, they would represent a direct challenge to the very foundation of Christianity as it has been known for over 1,000 years. Given the possibility that these secrets might be true, it is easy to understand why the Templars dedicated their lives to safeguarding and concealing this knowledge. They didn't merely guard material wealth, they protected an ancient, forbidden truth that could have torn apart the power structure of organized religion. This would explain the intense secrecy surrounding their activities, as well as the Church's deep fear of what the Templars could reveal. If the Templars truly held evidence of these truths, their violent persecution by King Philip IV of France and Pope Clement V would have been driven by far more than mere political or financial motives. One particularly intriguing facet of this theory is the Templars' connection to the mysterious village of Rennes-le-Château in France. This small village became famous after the discovery of documents suggesting the existence of a secret lineage that could trace its roots directly back to Jesus. Some believe that the Templars may have hidden part of their most valuable secrets there, perhaps even including physical evidence that could shed light on the true story of Christ. For centuries, rumors have circulated that the Knights Templar left behind hidden clues and messages encoded in works of art, cathedrals, and monuments, enigmatic signs that could hold the key to this age-old mystery. Another fascinating connection to the Templars lies in the Cathedral of Chartres, one of France's most impressive architectural masterpieces, which some researchers believe contains hidden symbols and messages about the Holy Grail and the esoteric knowledge held by the order. The cathedral's walls are adorned with intricate carvings and references to figures such as Mary Magdalene, individuals who do not appear in traditional Christian doctrine. These symbols have led some to speculate that the Templars encoded secret messages in the very stones of Chartres, potentially revealing the true nature of the Grail. If the Grail was merely a chalice, the Church would have had no reason to fear it. However, if it symbolized a deeper, more transformative truth, one that could topple the very foundations of Christianity, then the persecution of the Templars makes perfect sense. The fear and the attacks launched against the order were not simply about politics or wealth, they were about protecting a fragile narrative that, if exposed, could unravel centuries of religious and political control. Despite the passage of time, no definitive proof has yet surfaced to confirm what the Templars actually discovered. However, the enduring connections between their order, the apocryphal texts, the enigmatic figure of Mary Magdalene, and the notion of the Grail as a lost bloodline continue to inspire ongoing investigations and theories. If the Templars truly possessed records that could rewrite the history of Christianity, what became of these documents during the violent suppression of the order in the 14th century? Many of the surviving Templars are believed to have fled, taking with them the priceless secrets that could never fall into the hands of the Church. Some suggest that these secrets were hidden in places such as Scotland, where the Templars helped lay the groundwork for esoteric traditions that would later influence Freemasonry. Others believe that the Templar archives were concealed in strategic locations, such as the Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland or in hidden caves beneath the earth in France and Spain. The truth, whatever it may be, remains shrouded in mystery. But one thing is certain. The secrets of the Templars continue to captivate and intrigue, fueling the search for knowledge that could change everything we know about history and religion. One thing remains undeniable. The legacy of the Knights Templar is deeply enshrouded in mysteries that continue to challenge the established narrative of history. If they indeed uncovered evidence of a hidden version of Jesus Christ, that knowledge may still be concealed somewhere, waiting for the right moment to be revealed to the world. Until then, we are left with only scattered clues and intriguing theories. But this leads us to another compelling question. Did the Templars have access to forbidden texts and ancient manuscripts that could fundamentally alter our understanding of Christianity? There is growing evidence suggesting that lost writings existed, texts that could offer an entirely different perspective on the origins of Christianity and the true teachings of Jesus. Throughout history, a troubling pattern has emerged. Whenever knowledge threatens the established power structure, it is systematically suppressed, distorted, or outright destroyed. This fate likely befell numerous ancient manuscripts that might have contained accounts contradicting the official doctrine of the Church. But what exactly was written in these lost texts? Who hid them? And what made them so dangerous that religious authorities sought to erase them from existence? The possibility that the Knights Templar had access to such secretive documents is not merely speculation. Historical accounts suggest that during their time in the Holy Land, particularly in the early 12th century, the Templars engaged in secret excavations beneath the ruins of Solomon's Temple in Jerusalem. Reports indicate that what they uncovered could have been more valuable than gold, ancient manuscripts potentially hidden away by early Jewish and Christian sects, containing knowledge that, if brought to light, would have radically reshaped the course of religious history. But what kind of information might these documents have held? One prevailing theory proposes that they could have portrayed a version of Jesus far removed from the divine figure revered in traditional Christian theology. Instead of the Son of God, these texts may have depicted him as a revolutionary spiritual teacher, a guide to personal enlightenment who advocated for a direct connection with the divine, without the need for a religious institution as an intermediary. Such a portrayal would have posed a direct threat to the established Church, which had built its authority on being the necessary bridge between humanity and God. If the Templars truly uncovered such revelations, they would have become the guardians of a knowledge so disruptive that it made them inevitable targets of persecution. Among the most fascinating documents believed to have been within their reach are the so-called apocryphal Gospels, writings by early Christian groups that offer alternative perspectives on the life and message of Jesus. These texts were excluded from the official biblical canon, precisely because they deviated from the Church's carefully constructed doctrine. One of the most controversial of these Gospels is the Gospel of Thomas, a collection of Jesus's sayings that suggests the kingdom of God is not a distant, external place but an inner reality that can be accessed through self-awareness and enlightenment. This concept undermines the hierarchical structure of organized religion, which has historically positioned itself as the sole path to salvation. Could it be that the Templars safeguarded this wisdom, recognizing its potential to liberate spiritual seekers from religious control? Another critical text that may have been in the Templars' possession is the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. This document presents Mary not merely as a disciple of Jesus but as his closest confidant, the recipient of esoteric teachings withheld from the other apostles. Some interpretations even suggest that she was his wife, a revelation that, if true, would have shattered the foundations of the Church's depiction of Jesus as a celibate, divine being. The implications of such knowledge would have been enormous, as it would reveal that the story of Christ had been selectively shaped to serve institutional interests. Equally significant are the Dead Sea Scrolls, a collection of ancient Jewish texts that were only rediscovered in the 20th century. However, some theories suggest that secretive groups, including the Templars, may have had access to them long before their official unveiling. These scrolls contain mystical teachings and esoteric wisdom strikingly similar to the words attributed to Jesus in the New Testament. Some scholars propose that Jesus himself may have been influenced by the Essenes, a mystical Jewish sect responsible for these writings. If the Templars discovered such manuscripts, they would have realized that many of Christ's original teachings had been altered or omitted by the Church to consolidate its own authority. But the question remains, if the Templars truly possessed these forbidden documents, Where did they go after the order's brutal suppression in the 14th century? Many members of the Templars managed to escape persecution, taking with them not only their legendary wealth but possibly these hidden texts as well. There are whispers of secret societies that have preserved fragments of this knowledge throughout history, waiting for the right moment to unveil the truth. Could the lost wisdom of the Templars still be hidden, safeguarded by those who understand its power? If so, what revelations might still be waiting to come to light? The mysteries surrounding the Templars and the lost scriptures they may have protected continue to captivate historians and truth-seekers alike. Perhaps, one day, these secrets will finally emerge, challenging the very foundations of religious history as we know it. Until that day, we are left to piece together the fragments of the past, hoping to uncover the greater truth buried beneath centuries of silence and secrecy. The brutal suppression of the Knights Templar was far from a mere political or financial maneuver. It was about something much greater. The fear that the Church and monarchy had about the Templars' potential revelations suggests that a far more dangerous truth was lurking just out of reach. If the Templars truly uncovered evidence that contradicted the widely accepted story of Jesus, one of the most pressing questions remains: where is this knowledge today? This question leads us to another critical piece of the puzzle: the Holy Grail and the forbidden secrets. What did the Templars truly know about this legendary relic? What if the Grail was not a physical object, but instead a profound revelation capable of altering everything we've ever known? For centuries, the Holy Grail has been one of the greatest and most elusive mysteries in human history. It has inspired everything from grand legends to serious academic studies. But what exactly was it? Was it a sacred chalice used by Jesus during the Last Supper? A relic endowed with mystical properties? Or was it something much more significant and perilous than anyone could have imagined? Many scholars and theorists contend that the Templars not only found the Grail, but also uncovered the truth about its real nature, something far beyond a simple religious artifact. For some, the Grail wasn't an object at all. It was hidden knowledge, an explosive secret that, if revealed, could shake the very foundation of Christianity and human history as a whole. The quest for the Holy Grail has been inextricably linked to the Templars, as the order was granted exclusive access to sacred sites in Jerusalem. Along with their vast collection of secret knowledge, there are theories suggesting that the Templars unearthed ancient records, documents that directly challenge the traditional narrative about Jesus Christ. These documents may have contained vital revelations about his true identity, his original teachings, and even evidence that Jesus had descendants. For those researchers who support this idea, the Holy Grail represents far more than a cup. It symbolizes Christ's royal bloodline, a lineage that, according to some, was concealed and protected by the Templars. This theory became widely known, especially with the popularity of books like the Da Vinci Code. However, the notion that Jesus may have had heirs isn't a new one. Ancient texts, including the Gnostic Gospels, allude to a special connection between Jesus and Mary Magdalene, often describing her as his closest companion. Some interpretations go even further, proposing that Mary Magdalene wasn't just a follower, but the wife of Jesus and the bearer of his lineage. Upon learning of this, the Templars, according to some theories, would have sworn to protect this bloodline at all costs, creating a secret network to shield this knowledge from the world. But why does the Grail continue to be depicted as a physical chalice in so many legends? The answer may lie in metaphor. In many esoteric traditions, a chalice symbolizes the sacred womb, the very source of life. If the Templars discovered that Jesus had descendants, the Grail might not have been an artifact at all. Instead, it could symbolize the bloodline of Christ, a genetic legacy that secretly survived throughout history. If this theory is true, revealing such a secret would have been devastating to the Church. It would directly challenge the idea that Jesus was a solitary divine figure, without earthly heirs, and fundamentally alter Christianity as we know it, beyond the possibility of a hidden bloodline. Another compelling hypothesis suggests that the Templars unearthed documents that completely debunked the official version of Jesus' life and mission. These forbidden texts could reveal spiritual teachings that diverged sharply from what the Church had taught for centuries. Among the apocryphal writings found among the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Nag Hammadi Gospels, there are passages portraying Jesus not as a divine Messiah, but as an enlightened teacher who preached self-knowledge and a direct connection with God. Without the need for an intermediary religious institution, such a revelation would have shaken the very core of Christianity, potentially dismantling centuries of theological teachings and church authority. Given the power and influence the Templars wielded, it makes sense that they would have dedicated their lives to protecting and preserving this knowledge. The secrets they uncovered weren't merely material wealth or treasures, they were guarding the very truths that could alter the religious landscape. This would explain why the order was surrounded by such secrecy and why the church feared what they might uncover. If the Templars held this forbidden knowledge, their violent persecution at the hands of King Philip IV of France and Pope Clement V wasn't simply about political or financial gain. It was about safeguarding a delicate truth that could undermine the entire power structure of the Church. One of the most intriguing aspects of this theory is the Templars' connection to the remote village of Rennes-le-Château in France. This small, quiet town became famous after documents surfaced, suggesting that a secret lineage, possibly connected to Jesus, was hidden there. Some theorists believe that the Templars might have concealed part of their most valuable knowledge within the village. Perhaps even physical evidence that could reveal the true story of Christ. For centuries, rumors have persisted that the Knights Templar left behind cryptic clues in the form of artworks, cathedrals, and monuments, symbols that could hold the key to unlocking this profound mystery. Another important link to the Templars can be found in the Cathedral of Chartres in France. One of the finest examples of Gothic architecture, some researchers believe that the intricate carvings and symbols etched into the cathedral's walls contain hidden messages related to the Holy Grail and the esoteric knowledge the Templars possessed. The presence of symbols referencing figures like Mary Magdalene, who is largely absent from traditional Christian teachings, suggests that the Templars may have encoded secret messages about the Grail's true nature in the very fabric of Chartres. If the Grail were nothing more than a simple chalice, there would have been no reason for the Church to fear it. But if the Grail symbolized a deeper, more dangerous truth, one that could dismantle the very foundations of Christianity, then the persecution of the Templars makes perfect sense. The Church's relentless efforts to suppress the order weren't just about eliminating a military threat, they were about silencing a revelation that had the potential to change the entire narrative of religious history. Despite centuries of suppression, no definitive evidence has surfaced to conclusively prove what the Templars discovered. But the connections between the Templars, apocryphal texts, the enigmatic figure of Mary Magdalene, and the concept of the Grail as a hidden bloodline continue to fuel investigations and theories. If the Templars truly possessed these forbidden records, what happened to them during the violent destruction of the order in the 14th century? Many of the Templars who survived the Purge are believed to have fled, taking their valuable knowledge with them. Some theorists suggest that the secrets the Templars uncovered were hidden in places such as Scotland, where the survivors helped lay the foundations for esoteric traditions that would eventually influence Freemasonry. Others speculate that the Templar archives were hidden in secret locations such as the Rosslyn Chapel or underground caves in France and Spain. Whatever the truth may be, the mystery of what the Templars discovered continues to captivate and intrigue, urging those who seek to uncover the hidden history of humanity to continue the search. The persecution of the Knights Templar was a multifaceted event that reached far beyond mere political or financial motivations. It was rooted in the profound fear that the Templars were in possession of dangerous knowledge that could destabilize the very core of Christianity. This crusade against them began with mass arrests, followed by horrific tortures designed to extract confessions. The Templars were accused of engaging in secret rituals, worshipping mysterious idols, and indulging in occult practices. Under intense duress and the constant threat of death, some knights allegedly confessed to performing unknown rituals, including ceremonial kisses and the veneration of a sacred head known as Baphomet. This strange and enigmatic figure would, centuries later, become one of the most controversial symbols in occultism. However, the majority of historians argue that these confessions were coerced under extreme torture and do not reflect the true practices of the Templars. If they indeed conducted secret ceremonies, the question remains: what was the purpose of these rituals? Many scholars and theorists suggest that the Templars were not targeted because of heretical beliefs but because they held secrets so powerful that they posed a direct threat to both the Church and the monarchy. The Templars' association with mysticism, Gnosticism, and even Eastern religious traditions aroused suspicion that they had uncovered hidden truths about the Christian faith. If the Templars had access to forbidden documents, texts that contradicted the official history of Jesus, then it is no wonder the Vatican took immediate action to eradicate them before such knowledge could spread. The destruction of the Templars was a meticulously planned operation, orchestrated with the full cooperation of the Pope and the French king. The Inquisition, led by the Pope, joined forces with King Philip IV of France to completely dismantle the order. The Templars' wealth and assets were seized, their estates confiscated, and their leaders subjected to trials that led to brutal executions. In 1312, Pope Clement V, under tremendous pressure from Philip IV, formally dissolved the Templar order. Yet, the mystery surrounding the Templars' downfall does not end with their official dissolution. If the order was truly destroyed, where did their secrets and treasures go? There are numerous records that suggest that, just before the Purge, a large number of Templars managed to escape, taking with them valuable relics and documents. It is believed that several ships carrying these knights left France, their final destination shrouded in mystery. Some theories propose that the Templars sailed to Scotland, where they found refuge with Scottish nobles who were disillusioned with papal authority. Others argue that the knights fled to the Iberian Peninsula, where they may have played a crucial role in the formation of new military orders such as the Order of Christ in Portugal. This order would later go on to finance significant voyages of exploration, leading to the discovery of new lands. Yet, an even bolder theory suggests that the Templars may have sailed across the Atlantic Ocean long before Columbus, establishing secret bases in the New World. Some archaeological evidence, such as Templar symbols found in North America, lends weight to this theory, suggesting that the knights may have transported their precious knowledge and secrets to distant shores. If this is true, the hidden truths that the Templars protected could still be buried somewhere, far from the reach of both the Church and the European monarchy. But not all the Templars managed to escape this brutal fate. The last Grand Master of the Order, Jacques de Molay, was captured and sentenced to death in 1314. He was burned alive at the stake on the Isle of the Jews in Paris. And, according to some reports, he allegedly cast a curse upon Pope Clement V and King Philip IV, declaring that both would soon die and face divine judgment. In a bizarre twist of fate, both the Pope and the King passed away within months, further fueling the legends and myths surrounding the Templars and their hidden power. After the Templar order was dismantled, what remained of it? The answer may lie in the secret societies that emerged in the centuries following their destruction. One such group, Freemasonry, bears a striking resemblance to the Templar order, with many of its symbols and rituals directly referencing the Knights Templar. This connection suggests that much of the Templars' ancient knowledge was preserved and passed on through these secret societies, far from the prying eyes of the Church and the monarchy. If this is the case, then it means the Templars' secrets were never truly lost, they simply shifted hands, now protected by those who carried their legacy forward. The fall of the Templars did not erase the mystery surrounding them. In fact, it only added to their mythos, transforming the order into one of the greatest legends in history. From conspiracy theories to modern spiritual movements, the fascination with the Templars continues to this day. But the question remains: what exactly did the Templars discover that made them so dangerous? Had they found concrete evidence that the history of Jesus had been altered? And, if so, is this knowledge still hidden somewhere? What we do know for certain is that the Templars' secret knowledge did not disappear with their destruction. Evidence suggests that their teachings were absorbed by occult societies that continued to protect their legacy. But what were these secrets? Were they simply tied to esoteric rituals? Or was there something far more substantial at stake? Perhaps the answer lies within the symbols, codes, and hidden messages left behind by the Templars throughout history, symbols embedded in Gothic cathedrals, encrypted manuscripts, and even modern monuments. These clues may hold the key to unraveling the true Templar legacy. In the next chapter of this exploration, we will delve into the Templar Code, hidden secrets encoded within symbols and architecture. Since the collapse of the Knights Templar, much speculation has surrounded the fate of their sacred knowledge and relics. However, A fascinating clue may lie in the symbols and architectural works they left scattered across the globe. It is believed that even after their persecution, the Templars managed to hide secret messages in the structures they built, such as the grand Gothic cathedrals of Europe. To truly understand the significance of these hidden messages, we must look at the monumental cathedrals that rose during the 12th and 13th centuries. When the Templars were at the height of their power, iconic structures such as the Notre Dame Cathedral and the Chartres Cathedral were not merely places of worship. They were imbued with complex symbolism and secret codes that, some believe, may contain clues to the true history of Jesus and his possible forbidden legacy. These cathedrals, with their intricate designs and hidden symbols, could serve as a map leading us closer to the Templars' lost secrets, waiting to be uncovered by those who are willing to look beyond the surface. Throughout history, architecture has served as more than just a display of grandeur. It has been a canvas for secret messages, hidden symbols, and encoded knowledge. Few people realize that many of the most enigmatic and breathtaking structures from the medieval period were either directly influenced or financed by the Knights Templar. But what were they trying to communicate through these architectural marvels? Were they embedding cryptic knowledge into stone and glass, concealing forbidden truths that could challenge historical narratives? One of the most mysterious of these structures is Chartres Cathedral in France, an awe-inspiring masterpiece of Gothic architecture. Unlike most cathedrals of its time, its design deviates from conventional blueprints, seemingly crafted to preserve esoteric secrets. A particularly intriguing element is its stone labyrinth, intricately set into the floor, which many researchers believe represents a metaphorical journey toward spiritual enlightenment. Furthermore, the cathedral's geometric structure follows the principles of the golden ratio, a mathematical pattern found throughout nature and often associated with divine creation. But perhaps the most compelling mystery is the claim that at some point in history, the cathedral harbored a concealed underground vault, rumored to have contained Templar documents or even sacred relics lost to time. Another location steeped in Templar mystery is Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland. Built in the 15th century, this chapel is adorned with an astonishing array of intricate carvings and symbols, many of which align with Templar traditions. What makes this chapel even more perplexing is the presence of carvings depicting plants native to the Americas. This, despite being constructed long before Christopher Columbus's famed voyage. Could it be that the Templars had already set foot in the New World centuries earlier? If so, what secrets were they safeguarding within Rosslyn's sacred walls? Beyond architecture, symbolism played a fundamental role in Templar secrecy. Over the years, the order has been associated with a variety of powerful emblems, each carrying profound meaning. The most well-known of these is the Templar cross, a striking red cross against a white background, symbolizing purity and divine purpose. However, lesser-known symbols such as the pentagram, the number 8, and the fleur-de-lis are repeatedly found in Templar-associated sites. But what do these symbols truly signify? Were they mere decorations, or did they contain messages meant only for the initiated? One of the most controversial and misunderstood symbols linked to the Templars is the figure of Baphomet. During the brutal interrogations conducted by the Inquisition, some Templars allegedly confessed to worshipping a mysterious entity known as Baphomet, often described as a bearded head or an idol of unknown origin. But what was this figure? Really? Many scholars believe Baphomet was not a demonic entity, as the Church insisted, but rather a representation of esoteric wisdom and spiritual enlightenment. It is theorized that during their time in the East, the Templars may have absorbed mystical teachings that were deemed heretical by the Church. Baphomet, in this context, could have been a code for a forbidden body of knowledge rather than an object of worship. Another recurring element found in Templar sites is the use of sacred geometry. The structures they built, whether churches or fortresses, were designed with an advanced understanding of mathematical and spiritual principles. The number 8, in particular, appears frequently, symbolizing renewal and eternity. This suggests that Templar buildings were not merely places of worship or defense but also encoded blueprints of hidden wisdom. Could these designs contain clues to ancient secrets, concealed within patterns that only those possessing the right knowledge could decipher? If the Templars did indeed embed secrets in their architecture and symbols, what was the nature of these hidden truths? One of the most compelling theories is that their constructions were designed to preserve knowledge about the true history of Jesus Christ and his possible descendants. If the Templars discovered evidence that Jesus had a lineage, it would have been the most explosive secret in Christian history, one that had to be protected at all costs. By embedding this information within stone structures and symbols, they may have ensured its survival through centuries of religious suppression. Beyond cathedrals and chapels, there is evidence suggesting that the Templars also left their mark on ancient maps and secret manuscripts. Some historical records indicate that the Knights had an advanced knowledge of navigation, possessing maps that depicted lands unknown to medieval Europeans. This lends credibility to the idea that the Templars might have reached the American continent long before its so-called discovery. But what were they seeking? Was it a sanctuary to safeguard their secrets, or perhaps a hidden repository for their most treasured relics and documents? Adding another layer of intrigue is the undeniable connection between the Templars and Freemasonry. Many of the symbols and rituals of modern Freemasonry bear a striking resemblance to those used by the Templars, leading many to believe that remnants of the order's knowledge were passed down through these secret societies. Masonic temples across the world are adorned with symbols identical to those found in Templar locations, suggesting that their legacy was never truly lost, it merely went underground, safeguarded within the folds of enigmatic brotherhoods. This raises a final, fascinating question. If the Templars truly embedded their secrets in their architecture, symbols, and clandestine traditions, is it still possible to decode them today? Some researchers argue that by meticulously analyzing the geometric patterns, hidden numbers, and sculpted details in medieval buildings, we may uncover the long-buried truths about the Templar legacy. What are these structures trying to tell us? Could they hold the key to lost sacred documents? Or are they silent testaments to knowledge deemed too dangerous to be freely revealed? If the Templars indeed discovered proof of an alternative history of Jesus, it may still be hidden in plain sight, etched into stone, inscribed in forgotten texts, or woven into the very fabric of modern secret societies. But were these secrets? One of the most provocative ideas that has the potential to dramatically alter our understanding of history and religion is the possibility that Jesus Christ had descendants. What if this royal bloodline still exists today? The very idea that Jesus may have had a family, and that his direct descendants could be scattered across the world, is a concept that spans centuries of mystery. It involves apocryphal gospels, secret societies, and even the Knights Templar themselves. But is this merely an intriguing theory, or is there genuine evidence to support it? Did the Templars uncover records that prove the existence of this lineage? If so, what became of this sacred bloodline, and why did it remain hidden for so long? The theory of a sacred lineage stemming from Jesus Christ primarily originates from the Gnostic Gospels, such as the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. This apocryphal text reveals a much closer, more intimate relationship between Mary Magdalene and Jesus than what is presented in the canonical Gospels. Unlike the traditional scriptures, this Gospel presents Magdalene as the closest and most trusted disciple of Christ, the one who truly understood his teachings on a deeper level. According to some interpretations, she could have even been his wife, a notion that would fundamentally challenge the Church's long-established views on the nature of Jesus and his relationships. This revelation alone could significantly alter the understanding of Jesus' life and his role in religious history. Further supporting this theory, the Gospel of Philip, another apocryphal text, explicitly mentions that Jesus loved Mary Magdalene more than the other disciples, calling her his koinos, a Greek word that can be interpreted as companion or, more controversially, as wife. There are passages in this gospel that also hint at the discomfort other disciples felt about the closeness between Jesus and Magdalene, suggesting that their relationship was far more significant than the Church has acknowledged. If this intimate connection was indeed real, the inevitable question arises: did Jesus and Mary Magdalene have children? Some theories propose that after the crucifixion, Mary Magdalene fled to the south of France, where she sought refuge among early Christian communities. According to these theories, she could have brought with her a child, the direct descendant of Christ. During the Middle Ages, a belief began to circulate that the Merovingian dynasty, which ruled over France between the 5th and 8th centuries, was directly descended from this sacred lineage. If this theory holds any truth, It would mean that the Holy Grail was not a mere physical object, as many believe, but rather the royal bloodline, the genetic legacy of Jesus Christ himself. This brings the Knights Templar into the equation. There is evidence suggesting that the Templars, during their rise to power, discovered and safeguarded the secret of this sacred lineage. As guardians of religious relics and keepers of forbidden knowledge, the Templars may have found ancient records or documents confirming the existence of Christ's descendants, and they took it upon themselves to protect this secret through the centuries. This may explain not only their remarkable power and influence but also the deep fear they instilled in the Church. If the Templars knew that the official history of Jesus was incomplete, or even deliberately manipulated, they held a secret that could change the very future of Christianity. One of the most intriguing aspects of this theory is the involvement of the Priory of Sion, a secret society said to have existed since the Middle Ages. This order, according to some legends, was dedicated to the protection of Jesus's sacred bloodline. There are hints that the Templars were connected to this mysterious brotherhood, working together to preserve the identity of Christ's descendants and keep it hidden from the world. Some believe that this mission continued long after the fall of the Templars, carried on by other secret societies and esoteric circles. Beyond the realm of legends, there is more to this story. During the Crusades, the Templars came into contact with a variety of spiritual traditions in the Middle East, including Gnostic sects that offered alternative views on Jesus and his lineage. If the Templars had access to these alternative teachings, or even discovered documents confirming the existence of Christ's descendants, they could have created a covert strategy to protect these bloodlines and keep them out of the Church's reach. This would explain why the Templars endured such fierce persecution. They were not merely targeted because of their wealth or military power. They were dangerous because they knew something that could unravel the entire Christian faith as it had been presented for centuries. What makes this theory even more compelling is that it hasn't faded over time. Throughout the centuries, various groups have claimed to possess fragments of this hidden knowledge. Freemasonry, for instance, inherited many symbols and rituals from the Templars, and some believe that part of this secret knowledge was passed down through the highest degrees of this secret society. Some even speculate that the Vatican itself holds records about Jesus's descendants, locked away in its secret archives. If this information were ever revealed, it could have catastrophic consequences for the Christian faith and the Church's authority. But perhaps the most tantalizing question is whether this sacred lineage still exists today. If Jesus truly had descendants, could their heirs still be alive, scattered across the globe, unaware of their true origins? Some researchers suggest that certain European aristocratic families may preserve traces of this sacred bloodline. And there are even theories that this lineage has been quietly maintained within closed circles of nobility. This could explain the obsession some royal families have with blood purity and their long-standing connections to secret societies. Even more fascinating is the connection between this theory and the legend of King Arthur and the Holy Grail. Many believe that the quest for the Grail, central to the Arthurian tales, was not about searching for a physical chalice, but rather for the sacred lineage of Christ. The very name San Grail could be interpreted as royal blood, reinforcing the idea that the Templars were deeply involved in guarding this bloodline. By ensuring that it remained hidden from the Church and external threats, they might have been trying to protect the true legacy of Jesus, which could have changed the course of history if exposed. So, where is this sacred lineage today? If the Templars truly did protect it, what has become of it? And, more importantly, if this truth were revealed, what would happen to the Christian Church and its centuries-old doctrines? These are the burning questions that continue to echo through the corridors of history. As the mystery of the Templars and their hidden knowledge remains one of the greatest enigmas in religious history, one thing is certain: while the official history of the Templars has largely disappeared from the records, their influence, if these theories are to be believed, still lives on in the shadows, quietly passed down through the secret societies that inherited their legacy. The final question, of course, is whether the Templars truly vanished from history, or if their influence is still very much alive, silently shaping events in the modern world. In the next chapter, we will explore the fate of those who escaped the Templar purge and whether they truly disappeared, or if they have continued their mission in secrecy, far from the prying eyes of the world. On a fateful day in history, a cataclysmic event unfolded that would forever change the destiny of one of the most enigmatic orders ever to exist, the Knights Templar. The infamous purge initiated by King Philip IV of France, with the backing of Pope Clement V, led to the arrest, persecution, and execution of many Templars. Their lands and assets were seized, their fortresses invaded, and their influence seemingly extinguished. However, history leaves us with a haunting question: did the Templars truly vanish? Or did they find a way to survive in secrecy? A significant portion of the Templar order seemingly disappeared without a trace. While some knights were imprisoned or executed, others managed to flee, carrying with them secrets that could alter our understanding of history. Theories abound regarding their fate. One of the most widely accepted suggests that many Templars sought refuge in Scotland. Here, they found allies among Scottish nobility, who were already at odds with both the Vatican and England's King Edward II. There is compelling evidence that a group of mysterious knights played a pivotal role in securing Scotland's victory at the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314. Were these warriors, clad in secret armor, none other than exiled Templars? Another theory suggests that the order did not disappear but merely changed its identity. In Portugal, for example, King Denis refused to pursue the Templars. Instead, he reorganized them under a new name, the Order of Christ. This transformation allowed them to continue their mission, effectively preserving their knowledge and traditions. It is even believed that this order contributed significantly to Portugal's maritime expansion, with their influence stretching as far as the discovery of new lands. If true, this would mean that the Templar legacy did not just survive, it thrived, shaping history in ways we have yet to fully comprehend. One of the most perplexing aspects of the Templar mystery is the fate of their legendary treasure. The order amassed an immense fortune, gold reserves, vast lands, and invaluable relics, but when the French king sought to seize their wealth, much of it inexplicably disappeared. Reports suggest that on the eve of their arrests, a fleet of Templar ships set sail from La Rochelle, France, carrying a substantial cargo. Where did they go? Some believe the treasure found its way to Scotland, safeguarded by the Templars who sought refuge there. Others speculate that the knights embarked on a journey to lands yet undiscovered, possibly reaching the American continent long before Columbus set sail. Intriguing evidence, such as Templar symbols etched into caves and ruins in North America, suggests that they may have established hidden settlements, concealing their wealth and knowledge far from the grasp of their enemies. But perhaps the greatest secret of all lies not in material wealth, but in the profound knowledge the Templars are said to have safeguarded. Many believe that key locations influenced by the order, such as Chartres Cathedral in France and Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland, contain hidden chambers filled with documents and artifacts of immense historical and spiritual significance. Some speculate that these repositories contain records revealing an alternative history of Christianity, one that contradicts the traditional narrative. Could it be that the Templars uncovered secrets about Jesus Christ himself? Perhaps even evidence of a sacred lineage? Even though the Templars were officially disbanded, their influence did not vanish. Many historians argue that the order simply retreated into the shadows, continuing its operations through secret societies. Freemasonry, for example, bears striking similarities to Templar traditions. Numerous Masonic lodges claim direct lineage from the Templars, preserving their rituals, symbols, and hidden knowledge. This suggests that the order's wisdom and power were never truly lost. They were merely transferred to those deemed worthy of safeguarding them. Curiously, remnants of Templar influence can be traced through major historical events. During the French Revolution, for instance, many key revolutionaries were associated with Freemasonry, and their symbols bore an uncanny resemblance to Templar iconography. This raises the question: did the spirit of the Templars live on within clandestine movements that shaped the modern world? One of the most controversial aspects of the Templar legacy involves the Vatican. Officially, the Church condemned the order, branding them heretics. Yet, in 2001, a stunning discovery was made within the Vatican's secret archives, a document known as the Chinon Parchment. This parchment revealed that Pope Clement V had secretly absolved the Templars of heresy before their downfall. If the Pope himself had exonerated them, why did the Church allow their destruction? Could it be that the Vatican was under immense political pressure? Or was there a far more profound reason, one linked to knowledge so dangerous that it had to be buried forever? Speculation abounds that within the depths of the Vatican archives lie Templar documents that were never destroyed, records that could upend conventional understanding of Christianity and its origins. If these texts contain evidence contradicting the established narrative, one must wonder, what is the Church afraid the world will uncover? The possibility that modern secret societies continue to guard this knowledge adds another layer of intrigue. Are these groups protecting hidden truths about a sacred lineage of Jesus Christ? Or do they hold the keys to an ancient, forbidden wisdom yet to be revealed to the world? Ultimately, the fate of the Templars remains one of history's greatest enigmas. The evidence suggests they were never truly eradicated, but instead, found ways to persist in secrecy. Their knowledge, their beliefs, and their symbols endure, encoded in architecture, preserved in esoteric traditions, and whispered through the corridors of clandestine organizations. But the ultimate question remains: if the Templars left behind a final, hidden message, a key to unlocking their greatest secrets, will we ever decipher it? If the hidden knowledge possessed by the Templars were to be revealed today, the implications for the world would be nothing short of monumental. The Knights Templar may have vanished from the pages of official history, but their influence continues to reverberate through secret societies, hidden circles of power, and the mysterious monuments they left behind. Their secrets have not disappeared, they remain hidden, waiting for the right moment to be discovered. This leads us into an even more intriguing question. What lasting impact have the Templars had on the modern world? How did this religious and military order, which was officially dismantled centuries ago, manage to leave such a deep and enduring mark on society? Are the Templars truly gone? Or have they merely adopted a new identity, operating from the shadows in ways we may not fully comprehend? To truly understand the Templars' presence in the modern world, we must first explore the secret societies that inherited their teachings, their symbols, and even their hierarchical structures. A key example of this ongoing legacy is Freemasonry. Scholars and researchers have long speculated that after the persecution and eventual dissolution of the Templar Order, many of its members sought refuge in Scotland. In this refuge, they are believed to have played a significant role in shaping the formation of Scottish Freemasonry. This connection allowed the Templars' rituals, codes, and symbology to survive under a veil of secrecy within the Masonic structure, ensuring that their knowledge was preserved. To this day, the Knight Templar degree remains one of the highest honors within Freemasonry. Those who attain this degree claim to be the guardians of the ancient Templar knowledge, holding the hidden truths that the Church sought to suppress. This implies that, far from disappearing, the Templars simply continued their mission in a more discreet and secretive manner, transmitting their knowledge through these initiatory societies. But what exactly was this knowledge? Was it merely spiritual philosophy? Or was there something far deeper at stake, something the Templars believed was too dangerous for the world to know? Another fascinating aspect of the Templars' legacy is their profound impact on the modern economy. The financial system the Templars pioneered in the 12th century, allowing money transfers between distant territories, was one of the first international banking systems. This system was a precursor to the modern banking world, laying the foundations for how financial institutions operate today. In fact, some of the world's largest financial institutions still bear symbols that are unmistakably inspired by Templar iconography. A subtle reminder of the enduring influence the order had on the development of global financial structures. The very principles of banking that the Templars established continue to resonate in today's economy, proving that their legacy in finance has never been entirely erased. Yet, the Templars' influence doesn't stop with finance. Their connections to political power are another layer of this enduring mystery. Over the centuries, many influential world leaders have been members of secret societies that claim to be heirs to the Templar legacy. Take, for example, the French Revolution, which was driven by Masonic ideals. These ideals contained elements of Templar philosophy, suggesting that the order may have had a hand in shaping political and social upheavals throughout history. By using secret societies as vessels to carry their beliefs and goals, the Templars may have ensured that their influence persisted well beyond their official destruction. One of the most striking pieces of evidence of the Templars' continued presence in the modern world is the symbolism they left behind in monuments and historical structures. Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland, for example, is an architectural masterpiece filled with Templar symbols and inscriptions that seem to encode a hidden knowledge passed down through the centuries. But it's not just isolated to this chapel. Numerous significant governmental buildings and famous monuments around the world also feature elements inspired by Templar architecture. Structures such as the United States Capitol and Notre Dame Cathedral are adorned with symbols like obelisks, six-pointed stars, and sacred geometries, all of which may be indicators of the Templars' continued influence in the corridors of power. Even more controversial is the connection between the Templars and modern occult groups. Organizations like the Illuminati and other secret societies have always displayed a keen interest in the Templars, which raises important questions about their true role in human history. Are these groups merely inspired by the Templars, or have they inherited some of their forbidden knowledge? This connection between the Templars and the occult world suggests that their legacy could still be in the hands of groups whose activities remain hidden from the public eye. Surprisingly, the Vatican itself has never officially declared the Templars guilty of the crimes that led to their persecution. In fact, a document known as the Chinon Parchment, discovered in 2001, revealed that Pope Clement VI had acknowledged the innocence of the Templars. This raises the question: if the Vatican knew the Templars were innocent, why were they destroyed in the first place? The answer may lie in the fear that the Templars were in possession of secrets that could destabilize the Church. The destruction of the order may have been less about heresy and more about eliminating a threat to the Church's authority and the foundations of Christianity itself. Another compelling aspect of the Templar legacy is its impact on popular culture. Over the years, books, movies, and documentaries have explored the mysteries surrounding the Templars, revealing a deep and global fascination with the order and its secrets. This suggests that there is a collective interest in uncovering the truth about what happened to the Templars and what they truly discovered. But what if the truth is still hidden? What if secret societies still protect forbidden records, waiting for the right moment to reveal what happened to Jesus, the Holy Grail, and the sacred lineage of Christ? The Templar presence in the modern world continues to captivate imaginations and stir curiosity. The hidden legacy of this ancient order may still shape the world in ways we don't fully understand. If their knowledge survived, it's likely stored away in secret documents, guarded by groups that have inherited their legacy and continue to protect it in silence. The question that remains is whether the Templars were truly eradicated or whether their influence still survives, quietly exerting its force in the shadows, continuing the mission that was started centuries ago. As we look ahead, the final question emerges: what happened to those who escaped the Templar persecution? Did they truly vanish from history, or did they continue their work, hidden from the world's gaze? In the next chapter, we will explore the final fate of the Templars, seeking to understand whether they really disappeared or whether their influence continues to live on, silently shaping events in the world around us. What if the truth, hidden for centuries, were finally revealed? The revelation of such a profound secret could change everything, shattering old beliefs and bringing forth a new era of enlightenment. Imagine the impact of discovering that Jesus Christ's lineage not only existed but has been meticulously preserved throughout the ages. What if this lineage has been hidden for a reason, safeguarded by secret societies and passed down through generations? This truth could not only challenge the foundations of Christianity but could also unify humanity in a way that has never been possible before. After all, if the most revered spiritual figure of the Western world had descendants, and if the story we've been told about him was incomplete, then perhaps the entire history of mankind needs to be rewritten. The notion of the Holy Grail, too, would take on a completely new meaning. Historically, the Grail has been interpreted as a physical object, an external treasure, a chalice, or a sacred artifact associated with divine power. But what if this sacred quest was never about searching for an object at all? What if the Grail has always been an internal journey, a metaphor for spiritual enlightenment, for hidden knowledge, and for the ability of each individual to connect with the divine within themselves? This shift in perspective could radically alter our understanding of what it means to seek and find meaning in life. Yet, there is a significant dilemma to confront. Is the world truly ready for such a revelation? Are we, As a collective society, mature enough to accept the possibility that many of the narratives that have shaped our reality were constructed to keep us in a state of ignorance? Would we be able to embrace this new understanding? Or would it tear apart everything we've known? The people who hold these secrets, those who are aware of the truth, must face this very question. The world may not yet be ready for the full impact of this knowledge. But perhaps, in time, we will be. The awakening could be transformative, but only if humanity is prepared to let go of old paradigms and embrace a new era of consciousness and unity. What we can be sure of, however, is that the Templars did not simply disappear into oblivion. Their knowledge, and the truths they protected, have survived through hidden symbols, secret societies, and ancient monuments, testaments to a legacy that continues to influence the world today. These secrets are still out there, encrypted in the very fabric of history, waiting to be uncovered. In time, the world may be ready to discover what the Templars truly uncovered. But the big question now is, who will reveal this truth? Will it be the keepers of the knowledge, those who have protected it for centuries? Or will it be those brave enough to question the accepted narrative and seek the truth for themselves? The Templars are not just a part of history. Their story is an unsolved puzzle that continues to echo through the present. They may have been persecuted and destroyed, but their influence is everywhere, from the architecture of the grand cathedrals to the rituals of secret societies. From the foundations of modern banking systems to the mysteries that still surround Christianity. Their legacy endures. Perhaps their greatest secret isn't hidden in an ancient manuscript or a physical relic, but in a deeper, spiritual knowledge capable of freeing humanity from the chains of fear, manipulation, and ignorance. The truth is waiting to be revealed, but who will have the courage to seek it out? As we reflect on everything we've uncovered about the Templars and the secrets they may have safeguarded, the question arises: if you had the opportunity to uncover a forbidden historical truth, one that could change the world as we know it, would you choose to reveal it, or would you keep it hidden? Share your thoughts below, because every voice and opinion strengthens our collective pursuit of knowledge. Remember, when minds unite in the search for truth, the energy of discovery becomes all the more powerful. So, don't hesitate to leave your comment now. Together, we can harness the energy of discovery and keep the flame of curiosity burning bright. But the journey doesn't end here. If the deepest teachings of Jesus had been hidden, what if those teachings could transform the way we perceive reality itself? In the next chapter, we will delve into the lost teachings of Jesus, the hidden code of Sinai, secrets that could completely change our understanding of spirituality and the world around us. These teachings have been buried for centuries, but now, the time has come to bring them to light. Click on the screen now to continue this journey with me. And let's uncover the forgotten truths that have the potential to change everything. Across the modern world, traces of the Knights Templar still linger, subtle yet undeniable. Their symbols appear in unexpected places. Their philosophies weave through secret societies. And their legacy continues to fuel global conspiracy theories. But one final question remains. A mystery more profound than any other. What if the Knights Templar never intended to reveal their secrets? What if the truth about Jesus, the Holy Grail, and the sacred bloodline was deliberately hidden because they believed the world was not, and still is not, ready to know? This brings us to the final chapter of this journey. If the Templars truly discovered the truth about Jesus, what would be the consequences in today's world? What would happen if, one day, all of this information came to light? Would Christianity remain intact? Would the very foundation of global power be shaken? Or would this revelation completely transform our understanding of spirituality and human history? For centuries, the secrets of the Knights Templar have been fiercely guarded, concealed in the shadows, and preserved by discreet organizations. But what if, suddenly, everything was exposed? If hidden documents, forbidden manuscripts, and irrefutable evidence of Jesus' lineage and the true meaning of the Holy Grail were made public, could the world withstand the shock? Or would we be facing the greatest cultural, spiritual, and political upheaval in human history? The first and most immediate consequence of such a revelation would be its impact on Christianity and all religions that center around the figure of Jesus Christ. If it were proven that he had descendants, that his original teachings had been altered, or that the Church had deliberately concealed certain truths, it would send shockwaves through the faith of billions. The power structure of the Vatican could be irreversibly shaken. Many believers might lose faith in the institution, while others could seek a more personal, spiritual connection with Christ's teachings, one less bound by dogma. However, the impact of such a revelation would not be confined to religion alone. The political and economic systems of the world could face an unprecedented collapse. If documents revealed that secret societies, governments, and powerful institutions had always known about the sacred lineage and had actively worked to keep it hidden, the resulting distrust in authorities could trigger global revolutions. The pillars upholding the current system of control, whether religious, political, or financial, could crumble under the weight of a truth that had been manipulated for the benefit of the few. Another crucial aspect to consider is the response of the secret societies that continue to operate in the modern world. If the Templars, or those who inherited their knowledge, have been safeguarding these secrets for centuries, how would they react to such a revelation? Would these very organizations be the ones to finally bring the truth to light? Or would they continue to suppress it to preserve their own interests? Freemasonry, the Vatican, esoteric orders, and even political groups tied to the Templar legacy could face a dilemma: to expose the truth and risk global chaos, or to keep it concealed to maintain order. Yet, beyond the social and political consequences, there is an even deeper effect to be considered: the spiritual and psychological impact on humanity. If undeniable evidence about the true history of Jesus and the Holy Grail were revealed, it could ignite one of the greatest spiritual awakenings in history. This is because the realization that divinity is not confined to religious institutions but exists within each individual could completely change the way humanity perceives its own existence. The world could undergo a revolution of consciousness, where spirituality is no longer linked to fear, sin, or guilt, but instead becomes a journey of self-discovery and direct connection with the universe. However, such a transformation would be seen as a threat by those who profit from controlling the masses. If the secrets of the Templars truly contain knowledge capable of freeing humanity from the chains of fear and spiritual submission, then those who hold power would go to any lengths to ensure that truth remains buried. So, in the end, what would happen if the greatest secret of the Knights Templar were finally brought to light? Would humanity be ready to embrace the truth, or are we still too bound by the illusions of the past to face it? One thing is certain: no matter how long the truth is suppressed, its time to be revealed will always come. And when it does, the world as we know it may never be the same again.